dark top left, and that's in the top right. Ghost River is the map, and we have close air positions, of course, on this map. Very close rush distance. This map is insanely good, as I said earlier, for counterattacks. So you need to be careful. Of course, having creep on this map is actually super powerful as well, but it's kind of tough to get it across the map, really. Good to connect your bases, though. But it feels like anything that kind of is fast and quick on this map feels really strong. Powerful. Okay. Well, so far, well, this is gonna be PvZ, right? So it's gonna be what? Let's see after the Stargate and the first 2 oracles what actually happened. And take the game from there. Of course, this is stats, so it should be a very defensive opening. Dark could do something cheesy. He has been playing very cheesy recently, actually, in these online cups. And throwing in a ton of all-ins, timing attacks, pushes. So yeah, he's been very aggressive recently. With a lot of basic roach timings, ravager compositions. Not really any, like most of this is hatchery tech most of the time. Yeah, let's see what he wants to do this game. But stats, we already know what's gonna happen, right? There's gonna be a Stargate behind this. There's gonna be, let's see, probably around here. Oh no. So we're gonna put the pylon here. Okay. Whatever. Still gonna be quick. I'm expecting a Stargate, as I said. And then there's gonna be the double adepts poking with the 2 oracles coming in and good old standard stuff. 3 oracles, 3rd base, 4 adepts. That's gonna be it. There's no upgrade being researched here, so it's gonna be the Stargate. Oh, he stole some minerals. Look at that. Coming back to Firefly here for a second. Like, his most recent performance actually was a little bit surprising to me. I thought he would be doing way better in the Asia region there, in the regionals, but he was like a little bit outperformed and outshined by all the other players there, which is a little bit strange to see, because he was been doing so great like the last year basically. It's been really on fire, and it seems like his fire has been, you know, distinguished a little bit there. And I hope he can pull it back and kind of get on top of his game again. Go first adept poking out, but Stats likes to actually keep them at home and then go with 4 adepts. Let's see what he's gonna do this time. Seems like 2 adepts at least gonna poke here on the front. Confirm the 3rd base most likely. That's something you should do. And yeah, it's gonna send the shades in here. Natural. Let's see what he can. Okay, you've got 6 links. I don't want to commit to too much. Oracle on the way. Yeah. See what we can do here. Find. Okay, so this is like 8 links. You don't want to shade in there. He's just gonna pull back, fall back to his nexus. Doesn't even confirm the 3rd. It's just gonna say like, all right, you've got what you should. Gonna be enough. I'm waiting for the 2nd oracle actually, before trying to poke in here. Just staying out of vision, but well, the Zergling could have scouted this. I mean, this Overlord did see them just coming over, right? So yeah, he knows. He's in position. Queens are here. Gonna hit the 1st oracle. There's nothing over at the 3rd, just some lava. And yeah, wow, he gets a cancel on Zerglings. Crazy. So much for that. And we have Queens walking. So this is Dark. The most recent Dark has been very cheesy, very attack oriented, and actually almost killing one of these oracles, which would be a huge deal here. Coming across the map with 5 queens, 5 roaches, which are probably going to be ravagers soon, and the rest is going to be Zergling reinforcements. And he wants to kill this 3rd. This is his goal. He wants to kill his 3rd and as many drones as he can. On the other side, we have tons of adepts actually. This is a little bit more than a regular 4, as we can see. Let's see what the follow-up actually is here. There's a Fortune Twilight, but nothing yet done from that. And I hope he's making more Stargate units right now, because only Adepts are not gonna hold this one. There's no Stalkers. You need something more. There's nothing coming from the Stargate, so yeah. I don't like this too much here for stats. It's gonna be very tough to hold this one. Making a ton of shield batteries, but Ravagers, man, 5 Ravagers, they just poke them up. Lights out. Shield battery number 1. There you go. It's gonna get a Queen. He has 2 Stalkers now, but only 2 gates, I'm afraid. There. He has been throwing down some panic gates there. I think 2 more. But oh, beautiful bias on those reinforcing Stalkers. So actually just really killing them, not just cancelling them. And it feels like this is just too much. Overwhelming forces here for Dark. He also gets into the natural base. So floodgates are open. He can use... well, he can just destroy him however he likes to. He's gonna just... about stats that is. GG, well played here. Firefly, yeah, he's a very strange character and how he likes to play the game. Very cheesy, and it feels like he performs better the better his opponent is. He's one of those people, right? Like, he gets better the better his enemy is. And yeah, it's a very fun character though, like a very fun player to watch and see, because he's like very execution based, it feels like. His strategies are pretty cheesy, and then he just kind of executes really good. And the better his opponent is, the better works his like tricks, right? It's a little bit like a Has, but with better micro, better macro, and even macro builds behind this and stuff, and like better execution, right? But not as cheesy, of course. Okay. Up into our second game here. We have in the top right of Alki1, as I like to call this map, it is Dark. And in the bottom left we have Stats. So I'm not sure if the announcement was made, but Stats is actually on a new team. I need to check this. Give me a second, I might just do so. Gonna block the expansion here. And yeah, seems like this is not announced yet, so he asked me to keep quiet about this yesterday. But yeah, look out for Stats. He's gonna be on a new team. He's gonna be coming in hard here, swinging, and I feel like he's gonna be a force to be reckoned with this year, and a lot of people might sleep on this guy. Just because it's like Stats. People have been sleeping on this guy for like half a decade basically, and then he just took everything, every second place he could, and half of the first places and stuff. You're one of those famous kind of second place finishers, Stats as well. Stats Sue, of course not as much as Sue, but he has a ton of second places. And kind of Maru is getting there a little bit with IEMs, right? Katowice's. He has like 2 second places now, I think, in a row. Or maybe even 3? I'm not sure now. I think 3 years ago was not Maru in the finals, right? Okay, so last game we did see a Queen walk on one of the quickest maps that are out there. And this time we have a forward hatchery, which of course was forced. But this allows, well, you're closer to your opponent, so you can just posture here and creep out a little bit and get across the map faster if you want to do the same thing again. That being said, it is a longer rush distance though. Yeah, Maru is like... Maru has a ton of second places in GSL as well. That's true. But of course he has even more first places. But it feels like Maru is like the last boss of GSL. If you want to win a GSL, you need to beat Maru. That's basically what it kind of essentially comes down to at this point. Yeah, so if you can't beat Maru, you're not gonna win a GSL at this point, it feels. Kind of making his name there. Let's see if Stats is gonna commit with these adepts this time. I don't want to see him doing this because there's already enough links. Oracle's not gonna be helping out that much. With the queen sitting there as well. Let's see what he can do with the Oracle here. It's gonna be 2 drones. Actually only 1. And taking a ton of damage here on the Oracle. A little bit of mistargeting here. Only damaged 1. That was a little bit weird. A little bit miss-micro. Actually should have gotten a second shot there. I don't know why. Like the Oracle was drifting a little bit weirdly, so it didn't really shoot. And Dark is like, screw this. I have 3 queens here. I don't even need a spore. Just gonna cancel it. Gonna build it on this natural. That Oracle is being finished, and this should be the same follow-up, I assume, is gonna be... Oh, sorry, we've got the Oracles actually sweeping in, getting some damage there. It's gonna lose maybe 1? Oh. There should be Twilight and Forge coming up here again. There we go. Okay, this is different. It's a Robo and a Forge. Okay, I don't hate it. Let's see what we can do with this stats. So, Twilight gives you a lot of map control. If you get it up and running, you get out your upgrades, get out Blink. Of course, Blink is very mobile. You get Charge. Charge gives you a lot of opportunities across the map to take big engages. If you go Robo, this is kind of defensively. Of course, you can do like Sentry Robo pushes with Immortals basically. But then you kind of need your Robo a little bit earlier, it feels like. And I don't think you really want to do this on 3 bases. So, oh sorry, I actually did forget to set the score here. Of course, Dark is up 1-0. So yeah, I'm curious what he wants to do this. So this is a quick robotics bay. This is gonna be quick AoE basically. We will see if this is gonna be Disruptor or Colossi. Of course, Colossi do shred any circling attack. And Disruptors are very good against any kind of Roach Ravager attack, yeah? Do you agree with Atosis' assessment on GSL as a prep tournament that is fundamentally different from other tournaments? Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I've been to those tournaments. I know how the pros are there under pressure and how they feel when they have to play, like how happy they usually are when they have like 1 day off before their next match, for example. And so like those... The biggest difference I think most of the people really don't see when they just watch from home is, like behind the scenes, those pros, it's literally the time and the timing. So they go to the venue, they have to be there, they have to take like camera shots and stuff, of course, like player walk-ins. There's usually a media day to get this sorted, but this also does happen in between the group stages as well. So sometimes they want to come in, have the players there a little bit earlier, they want to have the players a little bit like later during the day, or keep them later after the day from the production side, right? So it's very stressful in that regard. And then you have to imagine that so you want to train, right? You come in early, you train a little bit, you get some practice games in, and then your group drags on because you have Spirit in your group and he's playing solo and they have like 3 56-minute maps, right, in a row, and you need to play Spirit next. And then suddenly your day doesn't finish at like 8, but it finishes at like 0 or like 1 AM or something. And then you need to play on the next day again. Excuse me there for a second. Okay, so of course that would be the weekend format tournament. So it's a very stressful tournament with a lot of like stamina involved, literally. And the GSL format is completely different. So you have weeks sometimes to prepare for a single best of 3 or best of 5. And yeah, and then you come in and you play your 1 best of 5, and then you go out again, and you have like all those media stuff. It's gonna take plays in between, right? In between on off days, basically. They have so much time to prepare, to practice, and to specifically, like, how do you say? You can kind of get into the head of your opponent, try to research your opponent, right? It takes, like, little things he does. For example, stats, there's always... if he goes and commit with adepts, he does not use his first two ones. He's gonna go with 4 adepts and 2 oracles. He will never commit in with 2 adepts and 1 oracle. He will commit it with the oracle, but not with the adepts. They will always fall back to the 3rd. Or wait for their reinforcements. That's like one of those ticks, right? So you can kind of identify and maybe exploit if you really research your opponent. So in that regard, yes, GSL is definitely different. I'm not sure which is harder, and it feels like one type is more like it's a very personal thing for a lot of players. So one is very good in this marathon setting, and the other one is very good at preparational games. For example, Special is very good at preparing games, and somebody like Cyril is really good in a marathon setup, right? Or Reina. Those people, they thrive really on momentum. Maybe even a Clem, right? He's a very solid all-around player. He is mostly execution based, taking his wins. So yeah, like he profits definitely from those smaller formats, right? For tournaments, time-wise, it feels like. And if you give somebody to really prepare in time to kind of figure out Clem and like do something to beat him, well, there's a lot of players who probably could take him. But in a weekend tournament, he's gonna most likely just out-execute most of the other pros, right? Most of your average pros. Alright, let's come back to the game here. Stats is trying to push in here, but there's so many lurkers. This is a very defensive game from both players so far. We have a lot of bases being taken. Nothing really did happen to Impactful here. A couple of drones being killed here and there, but, well... That's, yeah, that's basically it. We're seeing spellcasters right now coming in here. First couple infestors are there. A ton of lurkers is sitting here. A ton of defensive structures. This is kind of funny looking. This looks like an AI, right? You just have like these spine crawlers around your hatchery. This is super weird. But what this does is it actually blocks the hatchery to be surrounded from zealots, for example, or DTs, which is kind of cool. But yeah, it's actually a very thoughtful placement there. And a good poke here from Stats, but is he actually gonna find enough? It does seem though like Dark is weirdly low on money. And yeah, he has been putting a ton of minerals into the static D. So that's where his money has been going, and yeah, if you can reduce that, that's basically trading, right? Feels weird to say, but if you can just kill your opponent's static D, that's also a way to win the game. If he keeps remaking that. And then you only need to kill the army once. So if he kind of can find the fight right now and kill the army once, there is not gonna be a huge remax potential here for Dark currently, because his bank has been going into all of these spore crawlers and spine crawlers. He's just gonna poke out this base here, Stats that is, and let's see what he's remaking. So I'm assuming there's gonna be an air transition coming behind this, because there's not many reinforcements with this, but the army supply is very high. There we go, a couple grabs here, it's gonna find these Colossi. This is a funny thing. Oh my god, poor Colossi getting grabbed into, abducted into lurkers here and being slowed by infestors. What a combination, oh my god. Poor Colossi there. And, oh, and the Mortal getting neural, so Dark is having fun right now. He did lose a base for his troubles, but yeah, I'm assuming he's having some fun. He's gonna finish off the Immortal there in the end. I wanna see him now grab a probe. He got neural. Grab a probe, make a nexus. Let's go. Get some High Templars or Phoenix or Mothership or whatever. A Mothership would be great, right? Yeah. So the carrier transition feels a little bit slow, doesn't it? We have 2 Stargates, or 3 Stargates, excuse me, online there, and that's where the money did go. It's just a ton of High Templars, some Archons. Of course, also some static defense, but yeah, stats back is higher, so I like it. But I don't like that the transition is so slow here. We have tons of... This is so cool, man. Neural is so cool. He did make a stasis ward. He did actually make a stasis ward. This is... There we go. This is not stasis ward. This was Dark's stasis ward. Oh my god, Dark is just the greatest player of all time, man. He's the coolest guy in the block. Another abduct here on that immortal. Unfortunately, the stasis is just gonna buy him some time. But yeah, he cannot really kill this force here. He's gonna grab one of the immortals at least. He was waiting there with the infestors. And of course, those are free trades, right? It's just energy for a unit. But he needs to be a little bit careful though. He does not want to lose too many structures here. But his bank is growing, so it's been looking good. He's adding in some Hydralisks at this point to have something mobile to fight actually, and not just static lurkers, static spine crawlers, and static spores, right? Let's see if what he can neural next here. Let's see what his next goal is gonna be. Gonna let this base go here, not gonna fend this. And just gonna re-expand here to the southeast. Maybe Reyna shouldn't have played so much Korean ladder. Well, I don't know, man. I think Reyna is not the best you can put into a preparational setup. Somebody like Lambo, for example, is very good at preparing games. And he has been occasionally helping out Reyna with strategies and stuff in between games. Like, he's kind of like a little bit of the brain behind Reyna's strong mechanics, strategies, and like he's like the calm mindset behind Reyna's full-on like insanity, right? Insane plays. That's a good engage, it feels like, for Dark here. It's been reducing a lot of the army from stats. Gonna take a Templar. Unfortunately, gonna get feedback here. Templar does just die. Not feedback any of the other Templars. And then finally we've got some carriers here. Yeah, so, I don't know, man. Reyna is a very unique character, I feel like. A little bit of a strange character as well. He can be a very momentum-based player, and it feels like he's always a strong player. And it's like any kind of tournament he enters, he is always a little bit of a favorite, right? To really take down the tournament. But then again, he can also fumble a little bit. Be stopped momentum-wise. You can never like see, oh, it's Reyna against Nightmare. Yeah, Nightmare is the favorite, right? You will never say that. And that's also, of course, there's a reason for that. Yeah, I don't know, man. Reyna has... I think he needs more time, to be honest. If he wants to really adjust to the format, I feel like for him, the weekend format is a better format. But I don't think that... Like, he's a strong enough player that he could also take a GSL, in my opinion. But I don't think he can just go there and take it now. Like, alright, let's do it now, right? He probably needs to be there like for a year or something, play like in a couple or maybe 3 GSLs or something, get really down to this system of preparational StarCraft kind of, you know? Get a feel for that and then just do that. Then I think he could probably win a GSL. A Korean ladder is not that great, actually. There's so many evolution chambers, man. Most of the Korean pros do play a lot of custom games rather than the ladder. So you don't find too many good opponents on the ladder, actually. Like someone who's gonna be always around, for example, is gonna be like Pure, for example. You can always find this guy on the ladder. He's usually up on number like 1 or 2 or something. But yeah, a lot of those pros are not really playing too many ladder games. Playing more custom games most of their time, doing like research, right? Because it's a different beast in in Korea. They have to, they gain a lot more from just watching VODs of their opponents, for example. Preparing strategies, like figuring out timings. Okay, there we go, huge engage. Now we have so many carriers and there is only lurkers to try and fight this. We have a couple corruptors here in the air. It doesn't feel like this mix is big enough yet. We have fungals and spellcasting available here. Some vipers of course as well. I would love to see another abduct on an oracle and get a stasis trap again here. We see some zealots here for a run by. These spine crawlers are a little bit out of position. He's just pulling his units, his drones to the spines now. Zealots need to get, like, they get ripped apart by the spines. It's kind of funny interaction here. Links do come back, actually. Did not get a good counter engagement there. Yeah, this is such an interesting game. Let's have a look at the resource lost here for a second just to see what the difference is. We have actually dark trading so much better than stats, which is very interesting and not standard to the match. So yeah, this is something that Dark is kind of a genius at as well. He really wants to do it. Very interesting that he's saying like, okay, stats, I'm just gonna outplay you at your game. I'm gonna be the more defensive player here. And I'm gonna trade better than you. Oh, I love this. Just burrowing those here. Let's see if stats did notice. Does he go for attack here? Okay, so he has an observer. Gonna pick them up. We still have some High Templars being left behind here. We're gonna get lurkered away. Oh. Go! 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 Oh my god. How many shots doesn't High Templar survive from a lurker? It's like 4 shots or something. 3-3-3 High Templar against the 3-3 lurker. Okay, so these infestors are a little bit out of position. I don't want to see him lose or throw them away here. And the other rest of the army is in the north, is going to poke out this nexus here. That's not going to be in position to save that one. But yeah, if you throw away these infestors, this is what, like, it's 7 infestors, 150 gas each. That's more than 1,000 gas there. You don't want to throw that away for nothing. And we have a little bit of a base trade going on right now. So lurkers and corruptors. And on the other side, carriers. Only 1? No, it's 3 High Templars at least. But there's no Archons beyond this. There's only a couple of Immortals. There's no Archons. Okay, so I feel like Stats is missing out on a couple of pieces here for his composition. This is, by the way, Dark's group. This is not Stance reinforcements. And yeah, Dark is pushing into the infrastructure way faster than Stance is. Stance is just poking out some fringe bases here. Now we go for a big engage. Trying to come in here with all of his spellcasters, getting completely on top of the army there. All of the infestors did actually completely get ravaged, but the corruptors are destroying all the carriers. The the parasitic bombs were crazy there. So many of them stacked, and now all of the army is gone. What do you have? Like 3 more carriers at home? He needed a couple, like, Archons on the base of his army, so he could just completely wreck those corruptors flying in. At least trade, right? You force your opponent to remax as well. Yeah, you're not gonna win like 6 Blinkstalkers against 4 Ultralisks. At least we still have some Immortals here left. So the Ultralisks are very questionable indeed. But those Lurkers? Mothership going down again here. Those Lurkers, well, they're never gonna die, it seems like. Instead, trying to base trade again. This is again Dark Force here, as you can see. All changelings. And yeah, there's so many static D, there's so many structures to work through. And I don't really think Stats can make this work. He's gonna get his tech reset now. Gonna lose his the Twilight is already gone. The High Templar Archives probably gone as well. Well, he has a couple of robos. The robotics bay is gonna be gone in a bit. The cybernetics core is gonna be gone in a bit. What can you make then? Zealots when these gates are finished? That's not what you need. And there we go. He's even peeing on all of these buildings. Killing cannons with corruptors. Not something you see every day. Trying to recall some of his units, but actually it's gonna be on the wrong nexus, and yeah, all of your new infrastructure, it's completely open. Well, stats, you played a nice game, but I don't think you can overcome, what is it, 100 army supply. To be fair, this is mostly corruptors, but that one carrier you saw sitting there, that's not gonna do anything. And all of these gates are gonna go down just after they finish. We still have like an 8k bank here for stats, but he can't spend it. He has nothing. He doesn't have pylons. He's got nothing. Now he has the gates, now he lacks the pylons. Now when those pylons are finished, he doesn't have a gate. He's like warping in his last 3 stalkers just before these gates do unpower. And yeah, Dark is just gonna swing in here. Just gonna pee on all of the rest of these buildings. I wanna see it. Gonna pick down these last 2 production facilities here for Stats. Stats is frantically throwing down some cannons. Try to do whatever he can. He's saying, I have so much money. I can still win this game. Little does he know. Dark has even more. He still has so much mining. He has only 21 workers, to be fair. But he's almost maxed out. He has 140 army supply. And I don't think this meager army can do anything about it. You can literally just make links and overrun him. Great game here from both players though. A lot of back and forth there, and Dark has been, like, if we take a look at the resources lost, it's insane. He's like up 20k resources. It's insane. As a Zerg player, you're not supposed to be up that much as a Zerg. Of course, he did make, like, let's have a look at the structure tab here for a second. So he still has 18 spores. He did make so many structures. And we can take a look at the structures lost here. And 50 spore crawlers have been lost. It's so much money. And now, just going again here. Hopefully for the kill. Gonna be another recall available. He's been just making robos. This is kind of funny. He's making observers. What are you doing, Stats? There is 20 corruptors and 10 overseers. Why are you making observers? What is this? What am I looking at? Please stop it, he's already dead. Oh. Funnily, this cybernetics core stayed alive. Was never killed. And we still have one down here actually. The backup cybernetics core. So he has 2. He can make stalkers for days. If he can actually get up some gates again. Making some gates now. A couple of robots as well. And yeah, we need some money, Stats. So he's realizing most of his bank has been depleted now. And Dark, you can just go in and finish him at this point, can't you? I mean, of course you don't have the money, but you have the army. Most of it is corruptors. You could make a greatest spy, make like 3 brood lords. They win this fight. There we go. GG is called. Oh my god, that was a very, very, very slow death indeed. But in the end, Dark takes the W, and Stats is gonna tap out here with 6 army supply, 6 overall supply, and 1,000 minerals in the bank. That definitely was a fantasy GG timing.